Today, TikTok is in the crosshairs of the federal government, but Taylor Lorenz says we are missing the actual target. Then teens, increasingly frustrated with social media, go full flip phone or worse. And we've got a gift guide that is like no other because Bob is just in the holiday spirit. I'm Stephen Rosenbaum, and this is Future Forward, along with my podcasting partner in crime, Bob Garfield. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Steve.
But I got to ask before we get into the actual podcast, do you have all of your non-denominational shopping completed?
I have most of my shopping completed. I actually started months ago, believe it or not. This is what retirement does. It gives you a little more runway for doing stuff. It's my shopping is always non-denominational. I've never gotten anything filled with religiosity for anyone of any religion.
I did end up holiday shopping at Zabar's earlier today, so I think that counts.
That's denominational.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's start with the crazy TikTok story because it is a special kind of crazy. The federal government has banned TikTok on all government-owned phones. Is this a good thing?
I don't know. It's probably a good thing from a national security perspective, because on the assumption that there is some sort of mysterious backdoor which takes all of our data from that sucks up everything on our phones and then sends it immediately to the CCP. Yeah. So is that what it is? Communist Party? CPP, Communist Party of China, right? I don't know what the hell it is.
Chinese Communist Party, CCP.
Got it. And so, what the flaw in that is, number one, that's probably not the nature of their spying, if they are in fact doing spying through TikTok. And it also doesn't help for the 99-point-something% of other phones in the country that are still using TikTok. But the benefit is that Republicans are using this as their latest culture wars thing, because if you tolerate TikTok, that means you're a witting collaborator with the Chinese communists, and of course you are, because you're woke and liberal and unpatriotic and foolish and so forth.
See, I'm both. From about 6 until midnight, 6 a.m. to midnight, I'm woke. And then from like midnight till about 6 a.m., I am unwoke.
Because you're sleeping.
Unwoke. I don't understand what would be the difference. But by the way, I have a TikTok story to tell you. I'm trying and succeeding at understanding TikTok more and more every day. And there's a lot of talk about how it's impacting the restaurant business. And so because I'm trying to figure this stuff out, I went into TikTok there and typed in great restaurants in New York City. And not going to lie, the TikToks that I found were fucking fantastic. Like, they were restaurant reviews. They were experiential. They were funny. They showed the food. I was like, I didn't know about that restaurant. I didn't know about that restaurant. Like, it was like, I was like, yeah, I'll go there. I'll go there. Maybe I won't go there. But it was a perfectly wonderful search engine experience. I have not yet eaten at any of these places. So perhaps the influencers are paid, fake endorsers.
Possible.
I don't think so.
But not all of them. And I mean, the key point is that for some percentage of the population, and it might be 20, it's not just that they don't go on Facebook anymore. They're decreasingly using Google and other websites and apps
Yelp.
live like no Yelp. And if Yelp has been disintermediated, and Yelp itself was a force of disintermediation to begin with, right? And everything is going to reside on Twitter for a couple of different generations. Not Twitter, on TikTok. We suddenly have the default social media platform.
For sure. And the data, by the way, backs that up. So last year in 2021, they did $2 billion in revenue, and they are tracking in 2022 to do $10 billion in revenue.
Yeah. So like, so the idea of getting rid of them, you know, it's got serious ramifications, and it may be justified for security and privacy reasons. It may be just performance art by the Republicans who are looking for, you know, yet another cultural war to wage, and it may be both.
But it's not just, you know, it's not just the Republicans. Nancy Pelosi isn't on the banning TikTok from government devices thing, and a bunch of governors. It's like 12. You know, I mean,
yeah, but like, they're all red state governors. I think 100% of the places where it's going to be jammed through their state legislatures are Republican initiatives.
But Pelosi blows up that it's not red versus blue. I mean, it's I don't know. I think it's old versus kids is really what I think it is. Like,
it may be all those crazy kids and their crazy, you know, jungle music. I don't know how they can listen to it.
So Taylor Lorenz, who's a tech reporter for the Washington Post, kind of and a pretty unabashed TikTok fan, says that this is just a load of crap. And her basic take, I'm paraphrasing, is, you know, if you want to be concerned about Chinese influence on the U.S. tech sector, there's a whole lot of Chinese ownership of tech properties that you might want to pay attention to. For example, big chunk of Chinese money in Reddit, right? Like there's no shortage of Chinese influence in U.S. tech. And she sees the TikTok attack as essentially spun up by Facebook and the other socials who are just getting their clocks cleaned economically by TikTok. That it's really that they're winning the lobbying war more than anything else. And I think
that may be, Steve, and she may be right. And Taylor, you know, is certainly knows way more about absolutely everything about online platforms than I ever will on my best day. But that analysis leaves something out, which is that it's one thing to have an ownership stake. Let's just say Reddit. It's another thing where the data goes. And at the moment, even though there is an American-based subsidiary that runs TikTok, the data is 100% owned by a Chinese company, and that's where it resides, in Chinese servers, if they want to see it. So if there is something nefarious going on, or just simply surveillance on a grand scale, this is a unique situation.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you there. And I generally, you know, even when you're wrong, I generally don't call you out because, I mean, you are the gray beard among us, and I respect your years of wisdom.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
That being said, here's why I think you're wrong. The data doesn't reside anywhere. The data is in the fucking cloud, and whether it's sitting on AWS or Microsoft, whatever, all you have to do is give your Chinese spy counterpart the login, and they can be in the same. You know, they can paw around in AWS just as easily as anybody else. And so I don't think it matters one whit where the server sits. I just don't. I think the question is, does the Chinese government and their agents have access to my TikTok handle? And if they do, what are they learning from me? What secret data do they have? And the answer is, just to be blunt, I mean, TikTok seems to have figured out that I have a preponderance of fondness, private and often not revealed in public, for home repair projects. Now, give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. Facebook is trying to catch up, and so Facebook Reels wants to be the TikTok competitor. And so, again, I'm making confessions here. It's near the holidays, and I'm feeling a little vulnerable. I did watch 2 or 3 days ago a video of a guy feeding a crocodile big chunks of chicken. Mm-hmm. One time. My Facebook Reels feed is now completely and totally overwhelmed with crocodiles. Maybe they're not getting this algorithm thing exactly right. Maybe, they might need to do a little bit of work on the wisdom of that algorithm, because yes, I am a crocodile observer. I am crocodile adjacent. But that, they didn't even figure out to show me like people paving their driveway yet.
I understand. Well, and I'm I may have oversimplified the construction of feedback loops in my criticism of Facebook over the last 6 or 7 years. So maybe it's more of an art than I had given them credit for. I just thought it was a simple piece of algorithmic code, but I guess it's not so easy to construct. Anyway, I'm delighted to know, though, that you at least once in your life have seen a crocodile consume a chicken carcass, because I think, there's just something lovely about that. Touching, I guess is the word.
For me, crocodiles remind me of dinosaurs.
Uh-huh.
And they're in the dinosaur family.
So are chickens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Birds.
Right, moving on to chapter 2, which actually is related to chapter 1. Let's talk about those crazy teens. So the New York Times has this big investigative report in which they expose the phenomenon that young people are increasingly, considering themselves Luddites, and they don't want those. They don't want your damn likes, and they are essentially moving over to flip phones if they must have a device. Unclear to me. To be fair, it's not an investigative report.
No, it's absolutely not. It's a feature of about 5 teenagers with a reference to another 23 teenagers. But okay, it was a big takeout for sure.
And I'm not sure that it's actually a trend any more than vinyl records are a trend. But it is worth knowing that a non-zero number of teens are like, you know what, fuck this. We're done. Like, we're going to actually hang out with our friends and read books. I did forward this to about 30 of my friends so that they could show it to their teenagers, so that their teenagers could get the hell off their phones. I thought it was a nice piece. It was a gift, I think, to parents concerned about the teens who are attached.
Yeah, I just feel sorry for the millions and millions of kids who got this probably emailed to them by their parents.
Yes. Can I buy you a flip phone for Christmas?
Yeah, and it's cute, and it does show you that it's a group of, for the most part, privileged, achieving kids going to very, very good schools who have realized that their hearts and souls and time and attention is being ripped away by social media, especially TikTok. So they've gone, they've taken a holiday from their iPhones and so on, and from TikTok and the rest of social media. And in these kids' case, it may last, it may not. It is a way to give teenagers a special identity, which is, core to the experience of being a teenager. So they get to they get to get a New York Times profile written about them without having to rob a bank or overdose on fentanyl, which is, that's always a plus. It is certainly not a trend. No. Maybe it'll become one if the parents who send out to their children get their wish. But the kids have made a pretty healthy decision, it seems to me.
I don't mean to break their heart or yours, but just speaking from personal experience, here's just a handful of the things today that they would have been deprived of. Ordering a prescription at CVS, ordering groceries at Fresh Direct, confirming a dental appointment. These are exciting, ordering some holiday gifts. The number of things that for which having, getting on the subway in about 2 weeks, there will be no more, maybe it's 3 weeks, but no more Metro cards. You will need a phone to get on the subway. It's slightly further out than that, but the bottom line is these are not luxury devices, even though they clearly are in terms of cost. Having a non-flip phone device that has your identity, your credit card, your passport, your blood type, how many steps you took today, how many hours, I think it's very quickly not optional.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, as I was walking down the street,
something silly about this in a way, but it's funny you mentioned that it's not a luxury to have a smartphone. Well, the backlash against these kids in their own cohort is that only kids of privilege could pull this off because they have enough of a social and economic infrastructure that they can, they can function in the world without a smartphone.
Mom and dad can make the dental appointment on their smartphone.
Exactly. So it's a bit ironic that you really have to be an elite in order to drop out.
I thought the story was charming. I'm glad the Times wrote it. With that, I think we ought to go to the gift list because for those of you who are listening, you're going to have to do a little bit of imagination. For those of you watching the video, you will see the images of the gifts. We'll try and illustrate with some descriptions. So we wanted to find a source that was trustworthy, and so we went to goodhousekeeping.com, a long-standing trusted source of gifts and of housewares and wisdom about home economics, which obviously is very important. And we probably won't get through the whole list because there's just so many goodies here. But I thought we'd just start at the top and kind of go through some options, and we'll put the URL for the Good Housekeeping gift list in the show notes in case you want to go on and click and purchase. And by the way, if you click and purchase from the link I put in, we will get a commission on every sale. No, that's not true. It's a good idea, though, because I think we're going to sell some shit. I do. Let's begin with number one, the original ostrich pillow. It looks a little like an alien piece of headgear, or maybe it's kind of an inflatable garbage bag that you can wear. I think in airports would be the purpose for this.
Airplanes as well. Yeah, it's there's room to stick your face out so you can breathe, but it covers your eyes, and it's got some stuffing for pillow comfort, and you don't have to keep readjusting it because it's wrapped around your head. But what I like about this item is that it's less weird than actually attractive as a consumer purchase. The headline on this does not lie. It's like the 40 weirdest things on Amazon that people actually want to buy. And I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. No, I don't take a pillow or a neck brace onto airplanes. I'm fine. I ride bareback, but I can see how this is a really good solution. And the fact that it has the name ostrich in it adds some weirdness to it. And it makes you look like, what is that? A Teletubby?
Yeah. It looks a little like a squid, like the bottom of a squid minus the squid arms. And it's got a 4-star rating. So,
right,
with 354 reviews. All right, going to number two. I got to admit, I really might have to do this. A personalized cardboard cutout. Now, who would not want to have a life-size Bob Garfield in their living room, just hanging out, just to be kind of part of the decor?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody who wouldn't want that, with possible exception of me or anyone in
your family. Yes.
Family. One of the best feature story ideas. I used to have a side hustle with the Washington Post magazine, and I often did a lot of first person stuff. And my one idea I had was to, around the White House in those days, in the pre-digital days, there were cutouts of the president. It was Clinton at the time. And people would go and they'd pose next to these life-size cutouts. So it kind of looked like you were posing next to the president. You could put your arm around it and so forth. So what I wanted to do is get one made of me, a life-size cutout out of me, and get Clinton, the real Clinton, to pose with it.
They really had Bill Clinton cardboard cutouts in the White House?
Yeah, and people, no, not in the White House, but on the street, on Pennsylvania Avenue outside. And these photographers would charge you $25 to pose with it, and you'd get a picture of you sort of posing with the president. Now, I did manage to get into the White House bowling alley to bowl with my family as a stunt. That was for NPR. But I was never able to pull off the photo stunt, and I'm endlessly regretful.
Well, I think I will if I get around to it when we do the show notes, I will put a life-size picture of Bob Garfield in the show notes so that you can, and I'll put the link to the personalized cardboard cutout. So we'll see how many of our listeners want to take us up on that. All right. Number 3, I got to say, I found this a little strange. This is the Nicolas Cage pillow. And you can wipe your hands across the blue sparkly,
like sequins, like they're sequins on a hinge, basically. So if you move them in one direction, it reveals the image underneath.
Do you think this is a licensed Nicolas Cage image? Do you think
that is a very, very good question? I can see him doing it. I can't imagine them doing it without getting rights from him. So they probably reached out to a bunch of celebrities with, various kind of oddball cred. And my guess is that he is aware of this product, but it's just a guess.
4.7 star rating. So highly rated Nicolas Cage pillow. And then we get to, we can debate whether it's our favorite, but it's certainly in our top 5. The outrageous and unique flavored soda 6-pack. Buffalo wings soda, sweet corn soda, pumpkin pie soda, ranch dressing soda.
Yeah, I think ranch dressing soda is one of the greatest ridiculous products I've ever encountered. And I've been on the lookout for ridiculous products my whole adult life. This is just fantastic. And the other ones are kind of funny too.
There's a bacon soda.
Yeah.
Which is a special kind of disgusting, I gotta say.
Well, but there's a real market for bacon flavored things that you wouldn't expect to put bacon on, including ice cream. It's a delicacy in Austin, Texas, bacon ice cream. But I like the Nicolas Cage pillow for bizarro reasons, but this is
delicious. Delicious.
Yes. Chef's kiss too.
All right.
Flavored soda.
5. I don't even think I can pronounce number 5. Shock Tato.
Yeah, shock tato. It's like a hot potato. This is a shock tato. You toss the hot potato. This is the shock
it
tato.
Shocks you.
Yeah. It's a hot potato that actually functions. It's not just by your imagination when the music stops or whatever.
So it electrocutes you if you don't throw it fast enough. Yeah. I think this could be dangerous. I always worry about things that you could imagine a New York Post headline.
Yeah.
So holiday party turns ugly when shock tato kills small dog.
Yeah, it would be a subset of the gender reveal parties where there were explosions of various kinds.
Yeah. All right. Number 6, maybe the best one for pure image. Again, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, you're going to have to imagine this. This is a ceramic cat with a tissue holder in which the tissues are removed from the cat's butt.
Yeah, that one did not impress me because I actually have a cat butt tissue holder with my cat. So I have a live one.
That's a special contest. All right, we're going to leave. So number 6, we're not buying number 6. We're moving right along to number 7, which also is excellent. This is the Thanos one-piece swimsuit for men and boys. Again, you have to imagine a reasonably muscular man with a really horrible. It's not a superhero. What is Thanos?
I don't know. An evil something or other. I don't know what movie or Marvel universe he's from.
Yeah. We're going to have to leave this to
I think they should have a Theranos one, not Thanos. Theranos with Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. See, Elizabeth Holmes on a one piece on a onesie that I get. Uh-huh. And then speaking of superheroes, number 8 is a gloved meat shredder claws.
Mm-hmm. Like Edward Scissorhands or Freddy Krueger, right?
Yeah, this could go horribly wrong.
I think that's one of those that people will obtain as a gift, and they'll eventually feel bad about it once the forensics team is in the house.
You'd love to have to explain to the guy at the TSA stand why this is in your carry-on. Oh, no, really, officer, I'm not going to shred somebody with this. So yeah, the claws, we're not going for the claws. So far, the soda's the best. Number 9, maybe a runner-up, bacon strip bandages.
Yeah, no pigs were harmed in the making of these bandages. They're just photographic.
I got to say, in terms of the environmental impact of all of the gifts that we've put on the show today, this one may be the most disturbing. It has no, to me, it has no, I mean, why would you ever want to have on your body, in your arm or your hand or your forehead, an adhesive bacon strip? What would be who would find that amusing?
Well, why would you want a Snoopy one or a Pokemon one? It's just a novelty Band-Aid.
Speaking of which,
there's no bacon in it. It's just a picture of bacon. I think it's pretty cool. I think, if you take your kids to the doctor and they have to get a shot and they want to, instead of giving them a sticker, give them a bacon Band-Aid. I think they'd be very happy.
What if you're a vegetarian or Orthodox Jew?
Well, I don't think a picture of bacon is non-kosher. I'd have to look into that. I have to ask the rabbinical council, but I think you're probably okay there.
I'm gonna bet with a hard pass that Orthodox Jews would not wear a bacon bandage, just on the concept alone.
All right, I will take that as a challenge, and I'm going to locate one.
All right, we have time for one more. This is number 10, the hen bag handbag. It's a purse, but it looks like a hen. Here's why this bothers me. It's neither funny or charming enough to be amusing, nor is it fashionable enough to be an accessory. This is just, to me, this would be the one. If I had to knock one off our top 10, I think, but I mean, I'm not a handbag user, so maybe I'm not the customer. But we can ask our handbag carrier, not, of any sexuality, our audience member can tell us if they think the handbag. I can't even say it.
Handbag. To say this, this one stands out. Having just expressed how dubious you are of the bacon Band-Aid, this makes this rather a drubbing. I think. I don't know what kind of counsel that the handbag people have, but you might be hearing from them.
And I'm going to add number 11 just as we wrap up, because this, I have to say, the umbrella hat, I think I would wear.
I think people do wear them in Southeast Asia. I think it is where, for whatever reason, people are more careful about sun exposure than they are in the West. I think I have seen pictures of, people walking down the street in, I don't know, Shanghai or Ho Chi Minh City or wherever, with these on their heads as like parasols.
And particularly now, if you think about, if you're a phone user, as I am, you have the phone in one hand and the umbrella in the other, and it's always a little hard. But if you could just tie the umbrella to your chin and then wear it as an umbrella hat. I mean, I don't know so maybe it is more for sun than rain, though. That would move it down the list as far as I'm concerned.
I think it would be good for a sporting event where there's a chance of rain. You don't have to wear that big poncho. Right. Just put on the umbrella hat.
I got to say, this has been an excellent episode. If for no other reason, I got to hear Bob Garfield say the word poncho. I'm not sure where that word comes from.
I don't know. I don't know either. The etymology of poncho.
All right. Well, we'll let our listeners figure that out. Have a wonderful holiday, Bob. Enjoy the 8 days of Hanukkah. I assume that you're going to get a gift every day. Maybe a little piece of chocolate or one of those little, maybe a dreidel or something like that would be nice.
Most of my family is 4,000 miles away. The rest are 240 miles away. If I'm going to get a dreidel, I've got to acquire it myself.
I'll jump on Amazon right after the pod, and I will order 8 day. They don't really have a day of delivery schedule. You can't say I want this delivered on Sunday.
No, you'd have to make separate orders. But skip the dreidel. I'll have a 6-pack of ranch dressing soda.
I might have to order that. Have a nice holiday. Bye, Bob.
You too, Steve. Bye-bye.